the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Family reveals armed cache linked to dismantled communist group in Leyte. Philippine Air Force and Philippine Army launch interoperability exercise in Isabela. COMELEC to strictly monitor social media during midterm election campaign. Diesel kerosene prices up again.
Good day, everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, October 8, and we'll bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our stories, a family member of neutralized communist terrorist group member disclosed the location of an armed cache in Barangay Rizal, Cananga, Leyte. Troops from the 93rd Infantry Battalion recovered firearms, including an M16 rifle and KG-9 pistol, allegedly owned by the dismantled Platoon 2 of the Island Committee Levels. 93rd IB credited the success to the Free E-Families program and community cooperation. In a separate operation in Eastern Samar, the troops facilitated the surrender of 2 CTG members and seized 6 firearms.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Air Force and Philippine Army kicked off their interoperability exercise 03-24 at Camp Melchor de la Cruz, Isabela yesterday. The joint exercise aims to enhance combat readiness and coordination between the two services, focusing on air-to-ground communication and operational efficiency. Brigadier General Eric Gatchalian, presiding over the event, emphasized the importance of collaboration to address evolving global challenges. Over 1,400 personnel from both forces will participate in the training, which runs until October 11, 2024.
Armed Forces Radio.
We have a report coming in about AFP Honor Soldier athletes for outstanding achievements. Go on for the details, Shai.
Yes, good afternoon. The Armed Forces of the Philippines honored the exceptional accomplishments of its soldier athletes in a ceremony at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City yesterday. The event was presided over by AFP Vice Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Arthur M. Cordura and celebrated members of the Philippine Arnis team and Paris 2024 Olympic participants for the dedication on the international stage. The AFP Cavaliers, led by Lieutenant General Charlton Sean M. Garland, received the Meritorious Achievement Medal and donated 500,000 pesos to the Camp Aguinaldo Hospital. Relatedly, the AFP reaffirmed its commitment in supporting its athletes in their pursuits. This is Shai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shai.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Air Force ramped up its disaster relief operations in northern Luzon yesterday, conducting 2 C-130 sorties from Villamor Air Base to Basco, Batanes. The flights delivered over 20,000 pounds of essential supplies, including medicines, food packs, and drinking water to typhoon-hit communities. This operation, in partnership with the Office of Civil Defense and the GMA Kapuso Foundation, highlights the Philippine Air Force's ongoing commitment to support the disaster-stricken region.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Moreover, the Office of Civil Defense expressed gratitude to the Armed Forces of the Philippines for their crucial role in delivering aid to typhoon-affected areas in northern Luzon, particularly Batanes and Ilocos Norte. OCD Administrator Undersecretary Ariel Nepomuceno emphasized that the AFP's assistance, as directed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., not only expedited relief efforts but also brought hope to affected communities. He also highlighted the collaborative efforts of government agencies in restoring the normalcy to the lives of those impacted by the calamity.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let's hear a report on the ground about 4 former NPA rebels surrender in Negros Oriental receive financial aid. Go for the details, Jai Simbahan.
Yes, Rofh, 4 former members of the New People's Army surrendered to military troops. In Barangay Poblacion, Gihulngan City, Negros Oriental, receiving 40,000 pesos in financial assistance. The former rebels also pledged their allegiance to the government, vowing to leave the armed struggle. Philippine Army commended the collaborative efforts of the military and the local government in supporting their reintegration. They also warned those who continue fighting will be pursued relentlessly. This is Joy reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Office of the Assistant Chief of Staff for Civil Military Operations, OG-7 6th Infantry Division, recently held a lecture at the West Philippine Sea for the 6th Field Artillery Battalion at Camp Sionco, Maguindanao del Norte. The session aimed to enhance the troops' understanding of regional security. It also strengthened their preparedness to protect the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Relatedly, 6ID ensured to conduct the same kind of activity for the troops.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Commission on Elections will tighten its oversight of social media during the 2025 midterm elections campaign. In an interview, Comic Chair George Erwin Garcia said all candidates and their campaign teams will be required to register their social media accounts by December 30. Failure to comply could result in disqualification from the elections. Garcia then emphasized the role of social media in modern electoral campaigns. He also explained that in recent years, social media can be used to manipulate public opinion, spread misinformation, and circumvent campaign finance regulations.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Beth Tanyete about Philippine Air Force deploys so-called helicopter to deliver relief supplies to typhoon-hit Itbayat.
The Philippine Air Force deployed a so-called helicopter to transport relief supplies to typhoon-affected communities at Itbayat, Abatanes. The operation conducted by Tactical Operation Group 2 completed two sorties delivering bottled water and essential good from the GME Kaposo Foundation Operation Bayanihan Initiative. The AFP continues to provide timely air transport and support of humanitarian effort across the country. This is Betaniete reporting for the AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
The price of diesel and kerosene went up today, October 8. Diesel prices rose by 1 peso and 20 centavos per liter, while kerosene increased by 70 centavos per liter. The price of gasoline, which increased by 45 centavos last week, was unchanged. The Department of Energy explained that the tensions in the Middle East continue to affect the fuel prices across the globe.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, announced the official end of the southwest monsoon season, or habagat. PAGASA reported a significant weakening of the southwest monsoon over the past few days. The agency then said that the country is now transitioning to the northeast monsoon season, or amihan. The amihan season may be formally declared in the coming weeks.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Palawan, let us hear more updates from June about Provincial Level Security Awareness Forum convenes in Albay Province.
The 903rd Infantry Patriot Brigade conducted a provincial-level Security Awareness Forum 2024 in Legazpi City, Albay, in line with the Executive Order No. 70 and the Anti-Terrorism Law, or the RA 11479. The forum aimed to raise awareness among partners involved in nation-building and peace efforts about the risk posed by the communist terrorist group and potential criminal liabilities under the anti-terror law. Attendees included Army units such as 31st IB, 49th IB, 9IB and the 3rd SEMO Company, along with the representatives from NICA 5, the Albay Provincial Office, DPWH Region 5, and the contractors from across the province. The event emphasized the importance of protecting participants from the CTG propaganda and negative influences while enhancing their understanding of their roles in national security. As terrorism and its financing continue to pose challenges, collaboration and information awareness among all stakeholders remain vital. The forum highlighted the need for collective responsibility to contribute to the safer environment while promoting democracy and human rights in Bicol region. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, additional relief assistance was delivered to communities that were hardly hit by Super Typhoon Julian in Batanes and Ilocos Norte. Office of Civil Defense Administrator Undersecretary Ariel Nepomuceno said they remain committed in assisting the affected communities in Batanes as they recover from Super Typhoon Julian. He also mentioned that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and NDRRMC Chair Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro are closely monitoring the situation and guiding the response efforts to address the aftermath of this disaster. The Office of the President has extended 25 million peso financial assistance to the Batanes local government unit.
DWDD National News.
Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla confirmed that his brother, the Cavite Governor John Vic Remulla, is poised to be the next Secretary of the Department of the Interior and Local Government. He will replace former DILG Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr., who filed his certificate of candidacy for senator. Remulla said his brother's oath-taking was scheduled today. He then expressed optimism about the positive impact of his brother's appointment and emphasized that closer coordination between the DOJ and DILG will streamline the efforts for reforms.
Armed Forces Radio.
From First CRG, let us hear some information from Meljoy about surrendered NPI in Cordillera receives 2.3 million ECLIP grant.
Rofh surrendered New People's Army in Cordillera Viernes Dangiwa, known by his alias Kalipat, received a total of 2.3 million in financial remuneration under the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. Kalipat was a former Deputy Secretary of the Regional Unit Centro and Commanding Officer of the Komiteng Larangang Guerrilla Bagas under the Ilocos Cordillera Regional Comite. The awarding ceremony took place at the Kalinga Provincial Capital, with Governor James Eduba, head of the ECLIP Committee, presiding over the event. The ceremony was attended by key figures from the military, including Brigadier General Romualdo Raymond Landingin, Brigade Commander of the 503rd Infantry Brigade, along with representatives from the Philippine National Police, the Department of Interior and Local Government, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, TESDA, and other partner agencies. This milestone marks not only a victory for the government's peace and reintegration efforts, but also a significant personal triumph for Kalipat, who has left behind decades of involvement with the New People's Army. Reflecting on his past, he shared that 3 decades of his life were lost to the movement, but now free from its grasp, he finally feels peace. Kalipat plans to use the financial support to fund his child's education and build a home, marking the beginning of a new, peaceful chapter in his life. This is Meljoy Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy.
DWDD National News.
For other development story, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. committed to implement the free trade agreement with South Korea. During his joint press conference with South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol in Malacanang, Marcos said they acknowledged the efforts of both sides to enhance bilateral trade. He mentioned that they looked forward to implement the free trade agreement that has been ratified and concurred in by the Philippine Senate. For his part, President Yoon said the agreement will further boost trade and investment between the two countries.
DWDD National News.
A legal task force was formed to effectively and expeditiously prosecute the human trafficking cases in the country. The Interagency Council Against Trafficking signed a memorandum of agreement with the Office of the Prosecutor General of the Department of Justice and Office of the Solicitor General. DOJ Undersecretary Nicolas Felix T. said the creation of the legal task force signifies the agency's strong resolve to give justice to all victims of human trafficking. He believed that this would also send a message to perpetrators on how serious the government is in prosecuting and convicting them.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Kevin about the army troops clash with suspected NPA rebels in Negros Occidental.
Patrolling army soldiers engaged around 7 suspected New People's Army members in Barangay Makasilaw, Calatrava, Negros Occidental. Brigadier General Orlando Idralin, commander of the 303rd Infantry Brigade, reported that the 6-minute gun battle led to the rebels fleeing in different directions. No soldiers were injured, and it remains unclear if the rebels sustained any casualties. Relatedly, troops from the 79th Infantry Battalion continue to pursue the fleeing rebels. This is Kevin reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP, for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Kevin.
Armed Forces Radio.
And for other updates, let us hear the details about AFP recognizes outstanding units and offices in Transformation Roadmap ceremony. Go ahead, Gina.
Yes, Rofh, the Armed Forces of the Philippines honored 8 units and offices for their exceptional achievements as part of the AFP Transformation Roadmap institutionalization pathway in a ceremony at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City yesterday. The event was presided over by Lieutenant General Arthur M. Cordura, wherein the GHQ Provident Fund Office and GHQ Supply Accountable Office received the Complaint Status Award, while the AFP Public Affairs Office and the Office of the Secretary Joint Staff were awarded the institutionalized status. Moreover, 4 other offices were recognized for certification, reflecting the AFP's commitment to operational excellence and resilience. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD National News.
Moving on to another story, the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation is set to further increase its benefits coverage. PhilHealth's President and CEO Emmanuel Ledesma Jr. said that the agency plans to implement a 30 to 50% increase in benefit coverage by November across all its benefit packages. The state health insurer also wants to offer benefit packages for the top 10 most burdensome diseases in the country. These are pneumonia, severe dengue, acute stroke, chronic kidney disease, asthma, sepsis, ischemic heart disease, cataract and cancers of the lung, liver, ovary, and prostate.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Health and the Department of Education launched the Bakuna Eskwela. This is a campaign to vaccinate school-aged children to protect them from several diseases. Education Secretary Sonia Angara said that with vaccination, they can ensure that the learners stay in school and don't miss valuable learning opportunities. The campaign aims to inoculate at least 3.8 million public school students in grade 1 and 7 against measles, rubella, tetanus, and diphtheria. It also targets the vaccination of almost 100,000 female public school students in grade 4 against the human papillomavirus.
Armed Forces Radio.
And on the other line, let us hear more from Chris Bell about Pidea Barm dismantles drug den and arrests 3 drug personalities in Cotabato City.
Drug Enforcement Officers of Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, Maguindanao Provincial Office and Regional Special Enforcement Team, along with Maguindanao Maritime Police Station, Regional Drug Enforcement Unit, City Drug Enforcement Unit, Cotabato City Police Office Police Station 1, and Cotabato City Public Safety Office successfully conducted a bypass operation that resulted in a dismantling of a drug den and arrest of maintainer and 2 other cohorts in the vicinity of Doña Pilar Street, Poblacion 2, Cotabato City yesterday. Confiscated and recovered were 17 pieces of heat-sealed transparent plastic sachets weighing more or less 15 grams of methamphetamine hydrochloride or shabu worth 102,000 pesos, bypass money, and various drug paraphernalia. The apprehended suspects were identified as Abdul Eman Kusin, also known as Mamot, drug den maintainer, Norman Pendular, also known as Boots, and Richard Hilaga Batuga. The trio are now detained at the PDEA jail facility while awaiting an inquest proceeding for violation of Republic Act 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. This is Crisbel May Lorenzo reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Crisbel.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Rizal, more updates from Ella Mercado about Rizal Provincial Council to regulate the hauling and transporting of quarry materials.
The hauling and transporting of gravel, sand, and other quarry materials within the province of Rizal is set to be regulated by Provincial Council. That according to Ordinance Number 30, which is outlined now through the collaborative efforts from various government agencies to address the issues of something to do with it. The joint committee hearing, which was conducted under the leadership of Vice Governor Reynaldo San Juan as presiding officer, discussed the implementation to be done if it is approved by the Council. Among those who attended to give their inputs in such ordinance were officials from DPWH, LTO, Provincial Engineering Office, and officers from Rizal Provincial Police Office. Regulation is also due on some issues to be resolved by provincial government in welfare of their constituents. And this is Ella Mercado reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ella Mercado.
DWDD National News.
The Caloocan City Medical Center and the Caloocan City North Medical Center will give free health services to women in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month this October. Services will be offered daily from Monday to Friday, including free breast and pregnancy ultrasound and removal of lumps or cysts. Mayor Along Malapitan said the LGU knows that the needs of citizens are different depending on age, gender, and other considerations. He also said that this is the reason why they're trying to implement complete and appropriate health services.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.